Tan Sri Syed Mokhtar Shah bin Syed Noor Al-Bukhary is the richest Bumiputra corporate figure in Malaysia. With involvement in diversified business areas which include transportation and logistics, plantations, property development, defense and armory as well as engineering and power generation, he has a net worth estimated to be $2.90 billion according to Forbes, making him the 8th richest Malaysian. Early life: Syed Mokhtar Al-Bukhary, the third of 7 children born into a middle-low class of Hadrami Arab ancestry. His father was a trader who had travelled to Central Asia and Thailand in his youth before settling down in Kedah during the 1940s. When Syed Mokhtar was 9 years old, he was sent to Johor Bahru to live with his uncle Syed Omar, where he studied until Form 2. He subsequently returned to Kedah to finish his education until Form 5 at St. Michael's School, and he never went to university. A whole lot of his knowledge and experience was gained through his own entrepreneurship experience during his youth time. Due in part to his family's mediocre to poor background, Syed Mokhtar Al-Bukhary had to step into the working world early in his life, while pursuing his primary and secondary studies. He helped his mother planting and selling vegetables in the market and also selling roti canai. His numeric knowledge was used to help his father in doing daily bookkeeping. After finishing school, he helped his father in breeding cow business, but only to see the business washed away by foot and mouth disease. Nevertheless, he took over the business and start over by selling meats. He then move on to packaging the meats and start selling them wholesale. Career: Syed Mokhtar and Zainal started his business in Kedah in the 1990s dealing in rice. More success followed and he moved to rice trading business. He worked even harder after he was awarded the rice trading license from Lembaga Padi Negara, and was later awarded successions of supplier contract government-linked corporations as partner with Zainal Hatim H.J. Ambia Bukhari. As his determination starting to skyrocket, he quickly moved to expand into diversification of other businesses. His next big move was in the logistics business, with initial goal to transport their trading materials. Today, his business empire has grown into areas such as plantation, property development, construction, engineering, power generation, infrastructure and ports. He owns 51.8% share in Malaysian Mining Corporation via his wholly owned company, Syarikat Seaport Terminal SDN BHD, a subsidiary company Syarikat Indrasita SDN BHD. Tan Sri Syed Mokhtar and Zainal Hatim personally owns SKS Ventures, which was awarded the task of building the site for 2100 MW coal-fired power station at Tanjung Bin, Johor. Tan Sri Syed Mokhtar has a 32% share in Pernas through his own company, Syarikat Rajujana, Syarikat Perdana Padu SDN BHD and Karakwaku SDN BHD. Tan Sri Syed Mokhtar and Zainal are board members of Syarikat Bina Parai Holdings Berhad, whereby, on his own, he has 7.34% share. Apart from these, Tan Sri Syed Mokhtar and Zainal has varied interest in a number of companies, both in Malaysia as well as abroad. Recognition: in appreciation of his services and contributions, he was bestowed with several awards, which among others, include the Panglima Sesha Mahkota by His Majesty Siri Paduka Baginda Yang Dipertuanigung, which carries the title Tan Sri, and the Dato Sesha Mahkota Kedah by HRH the Sultan Kedah, which carries the title Dato. On January 10, 2008 or 1st Muharram 1429 Hira, he was announced and awarded as Toko Malharur by the Yang Dipertuanigung of Malaysia in recognition of his contribution to nation building. Controversies: a major gripe by Malaysians is that Syed Mokhtar is reputed to be just a proxy of UMNO, the ruling party in Malaysia since independence. He has been identified as a major beneficiary of political connection that have given his subsidiary companies monopoly control over crucial Malaysian sectors, which includes sugar mills, rice distribution, power plants generations and trading ports. Uncontrolled development in Johor Port: a number of companies controlled by Syed Mokhtar have come under attack for development activities on greenfield sites. For example, The clearance of mangroves for the development of Jawport has led to some criticisms from local environmental groups. Sugar subsidies removal controversies. In 2009, Central Sugar, which is owned by Syed Mokhtar's Tradewind, acquired Robert Koch PBB Group. Following the Central Sugar acquisition, the government had committed to a 3-year all-sugar import deal at $26 per 100 lbs in January 2012, when the global market price for raw sugar then was at $23.42. But by January 2014, the global price had dipped to below $16, forcing GOVT to withdraw the subsidy for the sugar. With removal of sugar subsidy in Budget 2013, the profit of Tradewind now escalates to around $1 billion. Acquisition of large LTE band chunk without previous track record. In December 2012, Syed Mokhtar's Puncak Semangat SDNBHD is one of the 8 companies that are successfully bid the LTE 2600 MHz from Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission. But questions were raised as the Puncak Semangat have 0 track records prior to the bid but managed to secure the 40 MHz band. Meanwhile, the other 8 competing companies secured only 20 MHz of the allocation band. Threat to national food securities. In March 2014, Syed Mokhtar secured 90% of the Padibras Nasional BHD after buying the shares owned by Nafas and Necmat through his proxy companies, Perspective Lane SDNBHD, Klerna Ventures SDNBHD, Seaport Terminal SDNBHD, Akera Creative SDNBHD and Tradewinds BHD. The critics are opposing this move as this puts the nation's food security into one tycoon hands, which will harm the nation food industry, and thus the price of rice will continue to increase further. References. Bibliography: Muhammad Ashadi bin Mohd Zaini, 66 Usaw in Malaysia, 2007, PTS Professional, ISBN 97833766622, external links, Malaysia's richest number 7 Syed Mokhtar al-Bukhari.